March 8, 2014. The final radio transmission from the cockpit was routine, almost mundane. "Good night, Malaysian 370. And then, silence. We live in an age of inescapable digital tracking, where our exact locations are beamed to satellites by the second, yet a 300,000-pound machine evaporated without a trace. Flight MH370 had departed Kuala Lumpur that evening, bound for Beijing. On board were exactly 239 people, settling in for a standard red-eye. As the plane reached the edge of Malaysian airspace, contact with civilian air traffic controllers dropped. The glowing icon on the radar monitors simply blinked out. No panicked mayday calls, no automated system alerts. Instant erasure from the grid. This sudden absence shattered a core assumption of aviation safety, the belief that a commercial airliner is never truly disconnected from the ground. When a plane disappears this abruptly, the immediate suspicion falls on a catastrophic mechanical failure or an explosion. But investigators quickly focused on the aircraft's transponder. This is the electronic device that constantly broadcasts a plane's unique identity, altitude, and location to surrounding airspace. As this graphic details, the telemetry data revealed a chilling forensic fact. The transponder didn't fail, it was manually disabled immediately following the pilot's final radio transmission. Someone inside the cockpit reached over and deliberately severed the aircraft's connection to the outside world. By severing its digital tether, MH370 transitioned from a routine commercial flight into a rogue entity, changing the stakes of the entire crisis. While civilian air traffic control was blind, military radar arrays scanning the region briefly caught the physical movement of the aircraft. The tracking data showed a stark, deliberate turn. Instead of continuing north toward Beijing, the plane hooked aggressively south. It flew silently along this new trajectory for hours, heading steadily into vast, empty airspace. By altering course, whoever was at the controls abandoned the heavily trafficked shipping lanes of the South China Sea, pointing the nose toward total geographical isolation. The duration and direction of this flight path ensured that any eventual search would be pushed into the deepest and most isolated waters on the planet. Calculations based on automated satellite handshakes eventually directed the search far from any coastline, out into the remote southern Indian Ocean. Multiple nations deployed an armada of ships and aircraft to scour the surface, committing hundreds of millions of dollars to a search effort on a scale rarely seen in aviation history. As the depth gauge in this diagram illustrates, the primary challenge was vertical, searching an ocean floor plunging 6,000 meters below sea level. This region is defined by extreme underwater topography, featuring massive, uncharted aquatic mountain ranges and deep trenches. Operating advanced submersibles down here means navigating blind through freezing temperatures and crushing pressures in a zone where sunlight cannot penetrate. This hostile geography makes locating the wreckage nearly impossible. The deep ocean trench acts as an impenetrable vault. The surface search yielded nothing. Then, in 2015, investigators secured the first physical breakthrough. As noted at the bottom of this graphic, small, isolated pieces of aircraft debris began washing ashore on remote beaches thousands of miles away. Analyzing the shear marks and marine growth on these wing segments provided scientific confirmation. The aircraft had suffered a violent destruction upon impact with the water. While the debris proves the plane went down, the exact location of the main fuselage and what happened in the cockpit during those final hours remains unknown. These fragments only confirm the reality that the ocean definitively claimed the vessel, but they refuse to yield the full story. After long years of scanning the seabed, the massive underwater search effort was suspended, leaving the core investigation entirely unresolved. For the families of the 239 passengers and crew, this suspension meant an enduring nightmare, a permanent lack of closure with no gravesite to visit. The disappearance of MH370 stands as a humbling warning. Despite our mastery of the skies, human technology still hits profound limits against the sheer scale of the natural world. Until the black boxes are recovered from the abyss, Flight 370 remains a permanent, tragic scar that refuses to fade.